It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Are you in loser denial or something?
It's Dumbass of the Day, brought to you by Peterson's U-Cart. They are in Atascadero. Stop by Peterson's right now for all your landscape supplies. Give them a call, 805-466-2840. That is Peterson's U-Cart in A-Town.
How pathetic can some people be?
I'm from Texas. Like I said, I come from a long line of serious South Texas alcoholics, so I'm definitely not the worst. My dad is the worst. Yeah, my dad, he will get drunk and say the worst thing he can imagine. He was at my wedding reception, decided he wanted to give a toast, and he's all, "Hi! Hi! I'm too drunk to whistle. Y'all listen up, damn it. Tang, tang. I like my women like I like my scotch. I'm 12 years old and mixed up with Coke."
Gee.
Holy Did he just say that out loud? I'm in the back going, hell yeah, I gotta write that down. That's awesome.
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
God, that sounds like a toast that I wouldn't want to miss. Watching people take care of their drunk parents is always entertaining to me. Thank God, I have to say it's probably very embarrassing and I've never had to do it. But I've seen my parents drunk, but never have had to actually take care of them. Oh, my God. Javier Martinez Aguilar. He's 42 years old. He lives in Lubbock, Texas. He really tied one on
That's
last
a great
week,
name, by
right?
the way.
Javier Martinez Aguilera.
No, Aguilar.
Aguilar?
You said Aguilar the first go
Oh, yeah,
around.
Aguilar. How do you know it's not Aguilera? Maybe I mispronounced it. I think it's Aguilar.
Probably not. It's just
Okay.
letters. I mean,
Anyways, he's 42. He's our age. He's a little bit younger than us. He has a 13-year-old daughter, and he wanted some ice cream. And after he was a little too far gone to drive, he decided to get his 13-year-old daughter. He's like, "Hey, you've always wanted to drive, right? Take him to the store to get him some ice cream." At least he's not going to get more beer. And who knows, back in the day, like 30, 40 years ago, this might not have been such a big deal, but that's a real big no-no now. She was driving. Bad luck for Javier Martinez Aguilar because his 13-year-old daughter almost hit a vehicle. Even worse luck, that vehicle was a state trooper. What do they call them? Texas, the Texas lawmen, or I forget what they call their state patrol, but they have a
Texas Rangers.
Yeah, Texas Ranger. That's right.
This is so stupid. Like, leave it to Texas to be like, everybody else could call police, but you know what we're going to call them? We're going to call them Rangers.
So after the Ranger swerved to miss the 13-year-old driving her dad to the store to get ice cream, who was just blotto, he goes and pulls the car over, walks up to the car, and he entertained the fact that maybe she was old enough to drive. He says, "Ma'am, can I see your license?" She says, "Well, I don't have one." He says, "How old are you?" She goes, "I'm 13. I'm taking my dad to get ice cream because he's too drunk to drive."
Thanks, Dad.
Dad was in the passenger seat. He would have been probably better off if he would have stayed home. He could barely get his license out, and he got arrested and was taken to jail down in Lubbock. He was at the detention center. That's when here's the thing. The girl had an older sister who came to the scene and gave her sister a ride home. But maybe she didn't live at the house. Maybe she wasn't home at the time. I'm not really sure.
She got out of that mess. Good for her.
So he had a daughter that was legal to drive, but he didn't ask her to take him to the store when he was drunk to get ice cream. He thought he'd go with the 13-year-old. I guess that's why they say you don't always make the best decisions when you're under the influence. Congratulations, Javier Martinez Aguilar. You are Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Don't be a dummy when it comes to your landscape supplies. Go to Peterson U-Cart on Gusta Road, just north of Quickie Car Wash in Atascadero.
We love U-Cart. You save.
Jeff and Jeremy here online at KZOZ.com. The last time we talked to these folks, By the way, great beer. We were sitting doing one of our happy hour shows talking about Brew at the Zoo with the folks from Atascadero. And we're always talking about how Atascadero is growing, Jeff, and all these new businesses are coming in. And this one is great because not only is it great beer, they have great food, but they really provide something for the whole family.
Yeah, it's like Chuck E. Cheese's, but with a brewery attached to it. that's always fun with good beer too.
Right. We're talking about Wildfields Brewery in Atascadero. We got Jackie Fields on with us right now. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, you guys. How's it going?
Good. So the last time we talked to you guys, and by the way, thank you for all that beer that you sent us to try. I haven't got through all of it yet. I think Jeff has, though.
I have. And
okay, good. I was going to say, so you guys are slacking over there.
I'm a big fan. And thanks for the geography lesson when we did that brew at the zoo happy hour. You informed anybody who has watched it since that there is an actual Atascadero Beach. Where exactly is that Atascadero Beach?
So it's North Morrow Strand, essentially. So Highway 41 was built by the original developers of Atascadero as a way to utilize this as a beachside community. And so there was space over there for folks who lived in Atascadero to go over and enjoy the beach. There was little bungalows and things of that sort back in the day. So just a really cool piece of our history, and it really showcases how accessible Atascadero is to so many amazing things surrounding us.
Okay, so so obviously there's Morro Bay's beach. And then there's Cayucas' beach. Somewhere in between is Atascadero Beach?
Yeah, so the state actually named it Atascadero State Beach in honor of that history. So we have a beach in Atascadero. Fun fact.
I love that. I would not have known that had we not done that happy hour.
I'm kind of a nerd, so I love reading up on old
and drank
Atascadero
your phenomenal
history.
Atascadero Beach beer because I thought it was a joke.
Joke's on you now.
Yeah, exactly.
now you know things.
So because of the Rona, you guys, shut down, but you've been doing beer to go. But now, we're in the red and everything's getting better. You're going to reopen this weekend. Colony Days are this weekend. And I remember, we've talked to the folks up in Atascadero. Colony Days is what kind of keeps Atascadero, even though it's growing and developing, it still kind of keeps it back to its roots. And we're talking about the old days.
Oh, rich history in
Atascadero.
There's
like reenactment type stuff that happens in these tents, and then you do the Tent City After Dark, which always sounds interesting.
So what level are you guys able to do that this year with all the restrictions?
Yeah, so we are just super excited to be able to partner and celebrate the history of Atascadero. That's really what our brewery is founded on. And so when they reached out, they knew we had been doing these drive-in movie nights in our parking lot because it's fortunately U-shaped and makes it pretty easy for us. And they wanted to keep their concert going. So we're actually going to have the Sean Clark Family Band here in the brewery. And then we're going to stream it out onto a screen because in the state of California, live music is not allowed, but streaming music is.
Look at that workaround.
So we're being a little creative to make that happen. But, just still celebrate, give our community something fun to do, a way to get out. And then we are going to run food and drinks curbside to your space. So that way you can just hang out, enjoy the show, and support local business and our community at the same time.
So this is happening tonight at the brewery in Atascadero. Now, we can come to the brewery, right? I mean, what's your capacity? How many people can you have there?
So for the concert, we are going to just be running food out. That way we can kind of keep the band in here and safe and give them lots of distance. But traditionally we have right now 80 seats outside to support folks who do want to come out starting on October 3rd, which is tomorrow, Saturday.
So you can have people outside and inside?
We can. So fortunately for us, as things keep changing and evolving and you think you have something figured out, we're gonna have all outdoor seating, and then we use a few bits of periods of time to let families in and play the games, and have brought that back in a small capacity.
Well, that's cool. And this is the grand reopening. When was the grand opening?
It wasn't that long ago, right?
Wasn't it back in February, something like that?
It was December of 2019.
Okay,
yeah.
So you're open for a few months and then closed down, and then there was like a week or two that you were able to have the reopening.
Yeah, we were open for about 3.5 weeks in June. We had a little COVID scare with one of our employees, and then I went to outdoor dining, and Ryan and I just were like, all right, let's take a breath and let's re-strategize. So we shifted to distribution, which is why you got some of those beautiful cans. Just focusing on getting our beer out there and staying relevant. And then, now we have a chef on board, so we're really excited. We have Taryn Bauer on board with the team and put a little flair on the menu, and so we're gonna go again.
Well, it's cool that you're giving the Atascadero community some semblance of doing something to celebrate Colony Days, because I mean it's such a big deal usually, and all these things they just get canceled and not recognized at all. It's a bummer. So
I want to be clear on something, because I know, it's very specific with the government. So tomorrow, which is October 3rd, that is when you can officially reopen back up indoors and outdoors. But tonight, the 2nd, we are asking people to stay in their cars?
Correct.
Okay. And you can go, you can sit in your car and you can drink beer and eat food.
And watch the Sean Clark family
on the big screen.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. So it's streamed over FM transmitter, and that way, folks, we have to ensure that there's no large gathering and that people stay within their household bubble. So the way to do that is with the drive-in kind of format.
All right, so there's something fun you can get out and do this weekend, and tonight it's like kind of slowly getting back into it. Tomorrow you guys are open and doing your thing. You can find out more by going to wildfields.com for everything that's going on at Wild Fields Brewery. Jackie, good luck with this weekend. Have fun with Colony Days.
Thank you guys so much, and stay cool out there.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Jeff and Jeremy here online at KZOZ.com. Last couple of days we've been talking about sneezing, from everything from sneezing on demand to being able to control it. Jeff says if you say frog boobies.
Yeah.
Now, wait, do I have to say it if I feel like I'm going to sneeze?
No.
Or somebody else has to say it if you see it coming on?
You have to have somebody else say it to you.
Oh, okay, 'cause it catch me by surprise.
Yeah.
So if I look at the light and I'm about to sneeze and I say frog boobies, it's not going to work.
Right.
So really, it's it's such a stupid. What, did you get this from your kids?
No, my wife. She did it to me one day and it worked, and I was like, whoa.
Did she start laughing instantly?
Yeah.
I would have laughed. Oh, that's so funny.
I was like, you gotta do that all the time.
The next time you see somebody about to sneeze, yell frog boobies and see if it actually catches them off guard and they stop sneezing. We got somebody on the phone that wanted to weigh in. Go ahead, man.
I was listening, my wife and I were listening to your podcast last night, and we realized I'm a loud sneezer, and I cannot stop it because if I've tried, and I think I give myself, some testicular troubles. But anyway, I just found out that some people sneeze through their nose. I thought that was unimaginable. I cannot sneeze through my nose. So I'm wondering if there's a relationship between people who sneeze through their nose and it's quieter compared to people who sneeze through their mouth.
Yeah, I can control it.
See, I went through my nose on accident once. It was the most horrible burning sinus thing ever.
Right.
So,
and it destroys my ears too.
Yeah. So I always go through the mouth, and there's a little overspray there you got to watch out for. But it doesn't
that's
hurt.
Why you cover your mouth, right?
When I do subdue it, I'm able to. I would say it's probably about 80% through the nose, 20% through the mouth. When I don't subdue it, it's vice versa. It's 80% through the mouth, 20% through the nose.
Right. Well, I have a deviated septum, and so hardly any air goes through my nose. And so when I've tried that, you're in public and it's quiet or whatever, your church or wedding or whatever, it's very, very, very painful.
Oh, wow. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So you must be allowed. Are you allowed to snore too, since you got a deviated septum?
Well, that's the thing. I don't snore. I breathe loud though. Yeah. My kids laugh and they tape me. I sound like Darth Vader.
Because you have your mouth open when you sleep because of the deviated septum.
Lovely kids you have there.
I wonder if I have a deviated septum.
They tape you.
Well, good luck with your breathing.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good day, you guys.
All right, you too. By the way, you can check out the podcast. Just subscribe to it, Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning. Just on any of your podcast platforms. We'll also download that or upload that to the KZOZ.com page and on our social media at Jeff and Jeremy. That's interesting. I've always slept with my mouth open. Maybe I have a deviated septum. How do you find out if I should have asked him if you have a deviated septum?
You go to a doctor.
Usually. Well, yeah, I go to the doctor all the time. He looks in my nose and he looks in my throat. They never said I have one, but I always end up sleeping with my mouth open. When I was a kid, I used to get the worst sore throats. And now it's still a thing I can't get past. Esther writes in, she says, it's involuntary sneezing.
Okay.
She says, I'm a pretty quiet person and I don't need attention. My boss is the same way. I always try to sneeze into my arm, but I can't help those noises.
Okay. I must be wrong on this one. You're right. I must have some kind of special
talent
skill set that allows me to sneeze and not be obnoxious.
I don't think you're born with something like this. I think it's something you have to teach yourself
trained.
to do.
It's trained.
Yeah, I think at some point in your life you were trying to be quiet.
Always.
There's probably some dark memory in your life that you don't even remember. You'd have to go back to for therapy.
I don't want to draw attention to myself. You're sitting in a class, you don't want to go, achoo. You know, just.
Did you used to sneeze a lot as a kid?
I mean, yeah, it's probably just as much as anybody else.
Well, I never used to sneeze that much. I've never had allergies until I moved here. And ever since I moved here for the past 15 years, I've become a sneezer. I'm not saying I've never sneezed before, but I rarely would happen. I mean, a handful of times throughout the year. Now it's a handful of times a day.
You should work on it.
Do you take an allergy medication?
No.
I do. Every day. I've tried everything. Nothing seems to work fully. It helps, but nothing works fully. I've taken Claritin. I've taken Allegra. I've taken, what's the other one I take?
This is far too much worrying about something that you can control.
See, that's the point. I can't control it, and I'm trying to explain this to you. And now everybody else is writing in and calling in as well.
I know. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I listen. I preach truth in numbers, and obviously, given the poll results, given what people have said, I must be wrong about this, and I must have skills.
Does anybody else have this magical skill of being able to control their sneeze? 805-543-3693 are the 805 lines you can call or text there.